Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. So today what I'm going to walk you through is how to replace air filter on the bike on a Honda CBR600RR, most likely the same case for 1000RR as well, or similar. And this should hold true from 2003 to 2012. So first what I'll do is I'll cut it out here and I'll put in the description, put in the video on how to remove what you see right now, all the fairings and how to get to here. So stay tuned. So basically, a couple things I want to tell you before anything. Put your bike on bike stand if you have to. If you feel you're safe by the back bike stand, that's okay. I only have the rear stand. You can put both stands on and so forth. Let's just get that out of the way. In order to get to stuff underneath and to get to your battery, first what you're going to do is you're going to remove these. There are two screws, one here and one on the right side of the seat. Already I have done them. They're the hex keys, I believe they're T6s. So once you have done, pull it back towards the back of the bike and then lift up and it will come right up. What's holding in the front, there are two screws that hold it, and then there are these hooks. Set it aside nicely. Then to get the bike, the tank off, the tank cover, the fairings off, what you're going to do is you're going to open this bolt up on the side. You're going to open this one up. You're going to open two up here. And do not pull it off. You don't have to remove anything for the tank. Do not pull it off. What you're going to do is pull this out like I did. And there's a little push screw inside where my fingers are. Inside, push it in. And then all you do is you lift up, over, and pull this out. So it's going to be holding in via this. It's going to be holding in via, so this is a screw, these two push tabs, and this is what I was referring to. There's a push screw inside. So take that off. Once you take that off, set it aside nicely. So repeat this step on the left side as well. Same step. You don't have to watch it, but same step. Once you do it, once you remove this, it will uncover a screw right here for you. So you're going to remove this screw and the same identical screw on the left-hand side of the tank as well. Once you do that, you have 6 screws for this cover for the fairing removed. Put your hand, one at the end, one at this end, and slowly lift it up. Don't pull it hard because the gas tank have rubber gaskets around. You don't want to crack any of those. So just pull it nicely. Obviously, I've done it before. It's going to come right off. This is off at this time. Once everything has been taken off, all the fairings have been taken off, your air filter resides right underneath this, right? So there are a few things we have to take off. First, we're going to take out these 2 screws, which will remove, which will give you access to your ECUs, right? The brains of the bike. Once we remove that, we have to remove all these screws that you see. These are loosened up. There are 2 down here where my fingers are pointing behind, and then 2 on the corners. Then we can lift the whole thing up and then access there. So I'm going to get started. So obviously these have been taken off. Take this off. This bracket just comes right off. Take this off. This is your ECU. Be very careful. You're going to take these. You can hold them down one by one. Push it forward towards the forward of the bike. So right now the camera is coming from the front of the bike. So move it front. Same thing. Clip. These are kind of like a lock system. So once you do this, comes off. Please set it aside nicely in a safe place. You don't want to damage the wires because then you would have to figure out the programming. This, we're gonna not move it. There's not much wiggle room, so just gonna leave it right here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these off, take a Phillips head, loosen them out. I have loosened them already, so I'm just gonna take them off really fast. So these four will come off. Once these come off, set them aside. And now we're going to take all these off, the black ones. So use a long extension to get to back here. Obviously, you'll need it. Take this off. Take this off. Okay. Okay, so 8 screws are off. What you're gonna do now is move this out of the way. You don't have to take this off. If you want, you can unplug the switch if you need to, but you don't have to. Lift it from the front fork of the bike. It comes off, and then nicely, gently, what we're gonna do is move it forward. I'm just making sure there's no other screws left. See, this comes forward. This wire is still connected. It's a sensor. Leave it. Do not pull so much on it. And now what you're seeing underneath is on this side is the bike air filter. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open this up. Honestly, this bike has about 14,000 on it now. It has not been serviced that I know of. I didn't do it. If it was done, but it wasn't done by me. Most of the time I've heard people clean them up. I don't know what this filter is, if it's cleanable, reusable or not, but most of them do come as where you can reuse them. So once you remove these 3 screws, be very careful. There are washers here. You don't want to drop them down here. Be very, very careful. Take this off. Just pull back towards the back of the bike so you have space, and then it comes straight out. This is what I was referring to, these little washers. Be super careful. So just to show you the 2 filters, right? This is the old one. Obviously, I'm pretty sure this is the original, 13,000 miles on it or so. This is the new one. I didn't buy the Honda one. I believe this is the Honda or the Can. It's HA6003, which I believe is a Can filter. Yeah, this is a Can filter. So definitely this was replaced. I don't know when this was replaced. These run you about $60 some. This is around $30. I don't plan on keeping them on for long. So for now, I just got this one to run with. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop it in this way. So again, let me set the old one down. While I'm doing this, by the way, the K&N filter can be washed and recycled. So I'm gonna look into how I can clean that out later. But for now, what I'm gonna try to do is put this one down and then put all the bolts and everything back on it. Before I do that, these are gonna block. So I'm just moving those out of the way. So we're gonna move it this way. It only fits in one way, so you're gonna fit in that way. And then we're gonna put the bolts back on. Or screws, I should say, back on. Okay, so basically I put those 3 screws back in with the washers. This is in. Obviously this is aftermarket. I told you this is the high flow filter row. I took the K&N out. I'm gonna see if I can wash it and it can be reused and stuff, how to wash it properly. To close this back up, be very gentle. This is why I left the sensor right here. I didn't do anything else with it. Just do one thing, take a flashlight if you have any. Make sure there's nothing else you left underneath in here, which I'm just doing now because I just want to be careful. So it looks perfect in here. I don't want to touch anything. And then what I'm going to do now is close it back up. To close it, So this was a quick procedure on how to actually replace the air filter. The reason I'm doing it now is because I was doing other stuff on my bike. My fairings, everything was off. It made sense to order a new filter and do it. It's a quick job, but then has a lot of moving parts and pieces. Just keep in mind, remember the screws where you take it off from, the bolts you take it off from, put it back in the same spot. If you have any questions, comments, put them down below. I'll link the filter where I got it from in the comments, as in the description as well. All I'm going to do is close all the bolts and try to start the bike and make sure it starts. Thank you guys for watching, subscribing, and liking.